This episode of Latinos Out Loud is brought to you by McDonald's.
You know, our crew could talk about McDonald's all day long, and we'd still run out of time.
That's because we can't get enough of McDonald's delicious menu, filled with some of our absolute favorites, like their crispy golden fries, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's truly impossible to resist papitas, even when they're not your own.
That's true.
For real, I stay stealing my friends' fries.
Oh, yeah, I always steal my friends' fries, and my family's. But let's talk about breakfast, all right? Because I love McDonald's because their breakfasts are out of this world. The breakfast platter is my favorite, you know?
Ooh.
It's like a
Great
build your own
choice, Jamie.
breakfast sandwich kit.
Yes, great choice.
You know, and it satisfies my sweet and my savory breakfast cravings, okay? Let me tell you what it comes with, all right? Warm biscuit, right? A savory hot sausage. They got some fluffy scrambled eggs. You know how they do. They got the crispy hash browns. And of course, to top it off, the golden brown hot cakes.
Oh my God.
This is my breakfast platter paradise, okay?
So good.
So good.
Can
with
I
the
just
syrup.
say something?
Yeah.
Oh, when the syrup makes its way to the other members of the platter, when it creeps its way onto the fluffiness of the scrambled eggs and the hot sausage and the hash browns, isn't that like a home run?
Rachel, enough, all right? I'm hungry now. Frank, what's your favorite McDonald's breakfast dish?
Come on, guys. You know me too long. You know it's the sausage McMuffin with egg, okay? With the hash browns, which fits perfectly in between the muffin and the egg. Oh, in the morning, I mean, come on. You can't go in, the savory hot sausage, okay? With a slice of melted American cheese on top? With the crispy English muffin? Come on.
It's like
guys,
a
you know me
morning
well.
it's like a morning Big Mac.
Oh, there you go. There you go. You hit it right in the head, Jamie. Boom.
Okay,
That's
Rachel,
what it is.
the guys, we're done talking. We want to know what's your go-to McDonald's breakfast dish?
Yes.
You know, I'm a sausage burrito type of girl. Discovering the green chilies can make for a tasty morning surprise, Frank. And I can count on McDonald's for a great one-handed breakfast, okay? Comes in very handy when you're a multitasking mom of two. And the sausage burrito is loaded with fluffy scrambled egg, pork sausage, meltiest cheeses, green chiles, and onion wrapped in a soft tortilla. That's my go-to, people. And I got one hand to eat with and one hand to do whatever I got to do. Change diapers. You know how it goes.
Yeah. Wow.
LOLs. I mean, after we eat our breakfast platters, our sausage McMuffins with eggs, and our sausage burritos, there's only one thing we say to ourselves after eating. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Loving it.
Yay.
It's the Latinos Out Loud podcast.
Yo, 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 yo. Wow. Wow, no gunshots today. Nope, we're not. And that's good.
No gunshots, right? You know what? I'm not
probably better
as
that way.
violent with my sound effects as our good friend and fellow co-host Frank Nibbs is, but Frank is not on the show today, unfortunately. So he's doing his sound effects somewhere else right now. So I decided to go no sound effects and let Rachel just take it over,
right?
yo it up. You know, sometimes you don't want to like add too much to the yos, right? It's kind of like, you know what I mean? Let Rachel do her thing. This is what I feel like the listeners are telling me.
Thanks, Jamie. Sometimes I do have to do a yo-yo a cappella, you know, and a cappella yo, it's just like me and the yos and you, the listener. And you, the listener, are here.
Your yo-capellas. You know, they are pitch perfect. Pitch perfect.
Yo, somebody really recently put me onto Pitch Perfect. It's really well written. Those films are really, really well written. I mean, they have Jamie jokes everywhere.
I love the first one. I feel like I kind of gave up on the second one early on, and then I never even saw the third one. But I really like the first one.
Yeah.
So I might have to check out the rest of the trilogy one of these days. But
again, it was a film that I was put on to very late, but then I'm like, oh my God, this is punny. So punny. And that's our thing, here at the Latinos Out Loud podcast, which is where we all are right now, right here. Hi, I'm your friend Rachel La Loca. Yeah.
What up? And this is Jay Ferns.
Ooh, ooh.
Rachel, I'm surprised you didn't do kind of like an old school reggae, because judging from your Instagram story, you recently were at an old school reggae show. I mean, do you want to tell the listeners specifically where you were?
Oh, Jamie, I cannot wait to get into this murder, she wrote, people, because wow, universe, wow. Let's talk about this. Okay. Those of you that know me know I am obsessed with 90s dance hall reggae.
Dance hall, yeah.
Okay. The stuff that we listened to when we were at the cup parties in high school.
The grind, where like, I remember, like in grammar school, us like 12-year-olds grinding. Well, other 12-year-olds were grinding. I was still like prepubescent and was like, whoa, like, maybe one day I'll get to thrust my hips like this.
Jamie, I will never forget, like, you just brought me to such a vivid place in my life. I will never forget. It was Cunningham Junior High School cafeteria flipped into the after hours dance, I hated those dances because the dance they always used the cafeteria and it smelled like cafeteria at the dance.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how are we supposed to grind on the boys that we like when it smells like the French bread pizza and old chocolate milk?
The square Elio style pizza. We used to have those things. I went to Catholic school and we used to have like, where some Fridays you would get to dress up in regular clothes and not like the freaking prison style uniform that they force you to wear. And so Friday was like, yo, everybody's wearing our clothes, and they used to have these, people used to dance in the hallways to this dance hall music and grind, and like we were doing this like underneath like crucifixes of Jesus and pictures of Virgin Mary, and then you see kind of like Jose and Cindy like grinding, right?
Action, that's Jesus.
And again, I was still too, like, I hadn't had puberty, puberty hadn't hit me yet. So nobody wanted to grind with the super short kid who was pale and skinny, super short, pale kid. But, I used to watch this and be like, wow, this is very adult for an 8th grade class.
Right. You took me to such a vivid moment that I had. Okay, so I went to a school that wasn't so diverse, but, there was representation. And I was in this class for the advanced and such. So I wasn't really talking shabaranks in science with, my boy George, you know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't until these dances where they brought in these hood DJs that played a little bit of everything. And I vividly remember when the reggae would come on, it was like a spark. It was like, yo, there's these beats, this Shaba, I don't know, Mr. Loverman. Oh my God, it was just so great. And I started dancing. And I remember homegirl was like, yo, this white girl got rhythm. And I'm like, yo, I'm not white, but okay, thank you. And then I started having a lot of more diversity in my friendship circles, and reggae became a cultural thing. You know what I'm saying? For me, I went to school in Flatbush High School, went to Midwood, went to Brooklyn College in the epicenter of Caribbean culture in Brooklyn. So it was deep, and it's been a love that I've had ever since. So here's how the universe works. You ready for this, Jamie?
Yeah.
Are you ready? like, you know my stories. Like, when the universe works like this, I got to bring it up to the surface and talk about it with my friends. To this. Okay. So bet there's this reggae concert happening called Reggae Love Fest, and tickets went up for it months ago, and it was supposed to take place in February. And then the variant came out, so they postponed it and whatnot. And I'm like, yo, coming out like the pockets with all this money. Sometimes I get mother's guilt if I'm gonna keep it real. I'm like, yo, I could drop $150 on these tickets to see some of my favorite reggae artists, or I can get Donovan the new uniforms that he needs. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's hard when I encounter.
So you had to be a champion mother.
Oh God, Yes, Jamie. So yes, good one. Champion mother. And then, but you know what? Every champion mother also has to treat herself like a champion as well. Like,
true.
You do it for the kids, but you have to also do it for yourself, ladies. So I decided to say, okay, let me not spend the money now and see when the event gets closer. Maybe the ticket price will drop or something. So none of the above happened. And it was the day before the event, and I kind of just chalked up the L. I still had no plans that night, but I saw a good friend of mine, shout out to Danny Hastings, put up a post, videographer in need for a reggae concert in New York City. Hit me up if interested. So I hit him up.
That's when you heard the
yes,
the saints in your head.
I heard all of it. It was like the reggae gods were calling me, and
they were telling you.
Go ahead.
They were telling you to take action.
Yes, all of it. So I hit him up and I'm like, yo, tell me about this need, because I think I could be the solution. You know what I'm saying? A veces yo soy la solución. Okay, mi gente? So then he connected me, long story short. Okay, guys, not only was I in the building, I'm talking all access pass in the building, okay, people?
Backstage, on stage.
Side stage, I was the stage for Shabba Ranks. I was like, Shabba, just walk on me, okay? Mr. Loverman, I can't. It was so crazy. You guys, these are like my favorite artists. But I was also working, and shout out to Romel Rodriguez. I was his shadow. We were out there. We were in the nosebleeds with the flags waving. And shout out to DJ Ted Smooth, Latino DJ who had the place on fire in between the acts. Seen Shabba Ranks, Slick Rick the Ruler came through with a surprise performance.
Oh,
yes. Slick Rick the
huge
Ruler.
Fan of Slick Rick.
Crazy. Dawn Penn, Junior Reed, Barrington Levy, Cuddy Ranks, Supercat. The lineup was crazy. Shout out to Adam Torres Concerts, Adam Torres Events. And I'm really thrilled to have been able to work the event and to be there and listening to just the sounds, the vibes, the culture that I love so much. Shout out to Jamaica. Shout out to all the Caribbeans, and to everybody who took part in this Reggae Love Fest. It was a good vibe all night, yo.
So the universe wanted you to be at this show, and not only were you just kind of like there to watch, you were actually immersed into the show and got to actually work in it and do something and get paid and have Shabba Ranks sweat on you probably. I'm sure some of his sweat dropped on you. I was like, Shabba,
I want to be in your trailer load of girls. Trailer load. I love this music, Jamie. You know me because you've been in cars with me. You've been in car rides with me. You know that this is like, my playlist has several reggae playlists within my player.
So I'm glad this wasn't the saddest day of your life.
The reggae references. What have I started here, guys? What have I opened up this Jamaican Pandora's box? But it's so great. It's so great. Keep them coming, Jamie.
Yeah, no. The law of threes. I think I'll stop at 3. I think I had three of them.
Wow,
3 good ones.
Wow.
So that's awesome, man. Like, and shout out to Danny Cash.
City. Yeah, Radio City. Shout out to Danny
Radio
Cash.
City. So
Yes.
they're doing it big. Yeah, they do the freestyle ones in Radio City as well sometimes. And they're not cheap. Like, anytime they try to do like any sort of like genre from the past and have all the all-stars from that genre do a concert, they charge, you would think like, oh, this is gonna be like an affordable. No, it's like they're making loot off of this because I think I tried to do the freestyle one at Radio City once, and I was like, is this Hamilton or these ticket prices can be, but it's worth it when you're there because it's like like the words to like most every song. You're bugging out, you know what I mean? You're like, it's very nostalgic,
I was dancing with the dreads, holding like camera equipment, holding Ramel's batteries and lights. And I'm like, come over here, Grandpa Dread. Come here. Let's vibe out. Sugar dugga, whoa, swing.
Was Beanie Man? I heard Beanie Man was being very difficult. He was like whining because he wasn't getting like, he didn't get like the time slot he wanted. And they were calling him a Beanie Baby. Oh. No? Okay. Sorry. That was too much.
Your reggae comedy is really on point. It's on fire. It's more fire, as they were saying.
There's too much setup for that one, but whatever.
Your reggae comedy is blazing.
No, but that's cool. That's cool. We don't have a reggae singer on this episode, but we do have a performer that when she gets on stage, she gets everybody's attention.
And she recently performed on a big stage for a big show for our friends over at HBO MAX, Entre Nos, those comedy specials. Yeah. Shout out to Viva Productions. So let's get into it. We interview Carmen Morales. You guys got to hear this. All right, guys, this is the part of the show here on Latinos Out Loud where we interview someone amazing. Okay, I know I say that every week. And I know I say the part that I know I say it every week. Okay, this is getting repetitive. I know it's sounding like a broken record, but am I lying? Jamie, am I lying? Our guests are amazing.
No,
amazing.
You're not. Every week it's the same. And they just get more amazinger and amazinger.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for saying that. There's no fibbing here, people. Okay, you can see her right now on an Entre Nos special playing on HBO Max. Please stop your cars, honk your horns, and put your hands together for Carmen Morales.
Woo! That's me. Hi.
Carmen, we love you.
That's the mating call right now. That's what people. That's how drug dealers contact each other in my neighborhood. It's like,
that means I'm ready to receive.
I like that. I guess you can't really like meow loud, right? You can't like do a loud meow.
Oh,
it's
sure you can.
Oh, that's a cat in the heat, baby girl.
That's like a cat dog. That's both. I think that's
cat
just two animals together.
I have to state something for the record, and I have not done the research or the market research to prove this. I think Latinos do the best animal sounds on the planet. We are
question.
Why are we so good at sound effects? I don't understand.
I mean, some of the animals are wrong. I've never met a chick. My grandmother used to go pew pew, that the chick would go pew pew, but I've never met a baby chicken that sounded like pew pew. I never pew pew, pew pew, and also like calling the cat that miso miso miso. I'm like, that sounds almost like Japanese, like like miso soup. Like, why are you? Does the cat like tofu? Why are we miso in the cat? Yeah,
you are so accurate, Carmen. Carmen, where is your family from? What is your lineage here? Talk to us about your bloodline.
Sure. I didn't know we were 23andMe-ing it already. I just met you guys. You guys want to get balls deep in my DNA? All right, let's talk about it, I guess.
We want to know all the ancestry that you can provide.
I don't give companies my personal information. I don't do that, so I don't know how accurate this is. I'm just going by my family's word, and you know how accurate that could be. But I am Cuban and Spanish, and Italian.
Wow. I love that. Okay, I'm going to tell you why I asked this. Because that miso thing, that's like, I thought that was super Dominican, but you just blew my mind because maybe it's not as only Dominican as I thought. I never understood the miso thing, but the cats be responded.
They do.
Like they understand Japanese, I guess. I don't understand.
They're like, is she trying to say mice? I like mice. Is that what you want me? Is that what you're calling me over there?
Oh my God, my cheeks hurt already. Are you some kind of comedian or something? Why are you so funny? Okay, here at Latinos Out Loud, just so you know, we like to say we move Latinos forward while making them laugh. It's just a mantra of the show.
That's nice. That's beautiful.
You know,
Yes.
it's nice. And we invite guests like you to help us do that, you know?
Oh,
and
sure.
you're living that message. That is your life. You are a comedian. You have specials. We want to talk about these specials. One that's very special to us in the room is Entre Nos, okay? We have had a ton of friends on that show. I got, we know this, the contest that's tied to the New York Latino Film Festival that has given opportunities through the guise or under the guise of the Entre Nos umbrella. So we support this platform and Viva Productions wholeheartedly. And I just have to say this before you get into what it was like, doing this special and stuff. PP, Pussy Power, thank you for representing. Thank you for representing in what is a male-dominated space stand-up comedy. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
You're doing it. Tell us all about it.
Dude, and I've been doing it so long. I got to see it have more women. I got to see that progress happen because when I first, I've been doing comedy 15 years. And when I first started, they wouldn't let more than one woman on a show. They were like, well, what if their periods sync up? Oh my God, we can't have more than one lady on the show. What would happen? They only talk about the same things. They only talk, how would we be able to make that? It would be heresy. It would be an abomination.
Wow.
So it's nice that over the last 15 years, they let us talk to each other now. Now we're allowed to speak to each other. It's big. And the same thing goes with, dude, and the same thing goes with Latinos too. They would only put one black person, one Latin person. It was always and that's one of the things I love about Viva Pictures and I love about Entre Nos is they're progressive in the sense that it's not just, all Latinos are the same, because that's the other thing that's been so big in entertainment is just this, it's only I don't know if they watched Cheech and Chong and then they just thought that was all Hispanic people, all Latin people, and they were just, but they did, that's the thing I love about them is no, there's different kinds and there's differences in culture and I have this joke. I'm not going to do the joke, but I have this joke where I talk about how I always know when white dudes have dated a type of Hispanic lady because they learn that there's another kind of Latin person. You know what I'm saying? Where it's just oh shit, they don't all eat tacos? No, motherfucker, they don't all eat tacos. Some of them don't even fuck with tacos at all. Yeah. But that's what I loved about this is the producers, Victor and Edwin, they're progressive because they want diversity of thought too. Did you know there's Latin nerds? Yeah, there's Latin nerds, and it's not all refried, and it's not all we all do the same thing. It's not all the same jokes. We don't all have the same experience, and that's something that I think is so beautiful. We're being able to represent way more of us because there's so fucking many of us. You guys can talk about this whole black and white shit, but we're the ones that's gonna take over this country for real.
The takeover. Get ready. We're mobilizing.
And the most chill, but gozando también. You know what I mean? We're gonna dance our way into the majority.
Word. We're gonna conga line our way in. You know what I'm saying? Everybody grab hips. Hey, 2 inches higher. Watch yourself. Okay. So I loved being part of the Entre Nos family for sure. They get it, and it's been so nice. A lot of times you don't really get to pick because I've had other opportunities to do something that would have elevated my career, and I didn't want to because I didn't like how they ran their operation and shit or how they thought about things. And so, I was there when this started, when Entre Nos started, I was there. I was part of the pilot when they were pitching it to HBO. And so, to see the growth that they've had over the last 5-6 years, it's been amazing to see, and I'm honored to be part of it. And I hope you guys enjoy it. I felt really good about it. And there was a very much a
an uncut gems montage of things that went wrong up until we started filming. There was plenty of, like, I had to pull a needle out of my foot. I had to, like, I didn't have a dress to wear until like 6:15 when we started filming at 7. Like,
oh, no.
there wasn't a person to do my, like, all these things, everything that could have gone wrong went wrong. And then it all worked out in the end, and it all came out beautifully, and it looks good. And we shot it at the Chelsea Music Hall in New York City, and it was a gorgeous venue. Oh my God, it was a gorgeous venue, open bar. The audience was super fun. Oh, it was a delight. It was a delight of an event. Like, they did it right. It wasn't too big of a venue. Sometimes people, especially comedians, like, they think that bigger is better, but I disagree in the sense that I like a little intimacy, you know, 'cause especially when you're talking about more vulnerable things or being on, you know, talking about yourself, being honest, stuff like that. Like, you can kind of feel that energy resonating in the audience against you. And I liked that. And we were close, you know, we were pretty close up. So I liked how it felt. It was probably like 120, you know, but everybody was in on it. Everybody was in on having a good time. And that's ultimately what, I mean, after coming out of the pandemic, that's all I want, dude, is I just want to bring joy. Like, the world is shitty enough. I don't get, fuck off. Like, I just want people to have, you know what I'm saying? I just want people to have what I've always wanted, you know, just laugh, eat a sandwich, get finger banged, take a nap. That's all you really need, you know?
That sounds heavenly.
Yes, that's all, you know. So I just want to be the laugh part of it, you know?
You
make your own sandwich. Make me one while you're at it. If you're already in the kitchen, make me a sandwich too. But yeah, so it was really lovely how it all turned, and I liked how it turned out. Like, the sound, and it looks good, and the venue, the whole thing, like. It's cool. And it's also nice. That's the other thing too, is like, they were super hands-on and wanting our input and our feedback, and they like cared what the artist thought. Like, all of that stuff is super not common a lot of times. A lot of times you just don't even know how it's going to look like until it comes out, and they don't give a shit what you think. But they, you know, HBO and Viva Pictures, like, they cared about what we thought. And that's so nice. It's so nice in an industry that usually doesn't give a shit about you. So it's like, it was beautiful. And I liked it. And I got to give my feedback and stuff. And it was so amazing. It was so amazing. I would do it again without question. So I hope people like it. You know, anytime you put anything out, this is my first big thing I've ever put out. Like, there's been little things, you know, that have been, this is the biggest thing that's ever happened to me. So I do hope people like it. I do. I hope people like it.
How did you go about assembling, you know, such a big show? How did you go about assembling your set list? You know, are you taking a lot of your best of stuff? Are you sprinkling some new things in there? And you know, going to the clubs and trying that out? Like, what's your strategy for, like, this is a big show, I gotta kill this show?
Right. Well, everybody has a different approach. So that's the cool thing about stand-up is there is no right or wrong way to do this, right? I'm kind of a stand-up purist in the sense that I think the most important thing is your hour, right? So I have an hour that is ready to be produced right now. All the bits, all the jokes, I know what I would do. I'd probably like think about tags and stuff, anyway, punch things up. So I have an hour that I didn't want to touch, right? And so then I was like, okay, well, I have this much material left over. How would I do that in a shorter time frame, right? So I would take jokes and then try to, you know, make a through line, kind of take the audience on like a little bit of journey, a little bit of establishing who I am, and then how I think, or why I think the way that I think. And that was kind of my approach for this, you know. And there is one of the cardinal rules is you're not supposed to do new jokes for something like this, but I still did. I came up with a joke, I think it was the day before. I woke up and thought of something funny, and I had my friend Katie come out, and she was like with me through this whole insane process. And I was like, "You think that's funny?" She's like, "Yeah, that's really funny." I was like, "I'm going to throw it in there. I'm doing it. I'm going to throw it in there." And I did, and it worked out well. And, you know, and I always do things like that are super high risk, high reward. And so for me, it was a combination of things. It was a combination of things that were prepared out methodically, and things that I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm doing that too. And I got to the Comedy Cellar, let me run my set before the show. And there's this really cool show in Brooklyn called Comedians You Should Know, and they let me run my set. So I wanted to do it. I wanted to do my show in New York before I filmed it, because I hadn't been to New York since March of 2020. I hadn't been there since literally the week everything shut down. So, so it had been 2 years since I'd been there, and things changed in 2 years. So I wanted to get a feel for it. So that's like I did a couple of sets around town, and then that after the set at the Cellar, I was like, oh, this is going to be fun. I feel good about this. Is going to be fun, So it was a combination of all those things. It was a combination of like planning things out, putting thought into it, and then also see if this works.
But you're at the point in your comedy career like that. You
know,
know
something.
I know my voice. You know your sense of humor. Like
yes.
there's not gonna be crickets for anything. Like if some of the crowd gets something no, but that is funny. So
right.
At that point, you're like, let's try it, let's see. But you're past the point of like, is this gonna even be? Is anyone gonna find this funny? Like it's gonna be, the bartender's gonna be laughing at. You know what I mean? Like there's gonna be someone laughing.
I mean, it's open bars, so I feel like that helps.
Before we head out of here, Carmen, I would love for you to talk to us a little bit about your road. How did you get here? And how did you one day discover that you were going to make money from your funny?
Well, I mean, I was kind of lucky, like when, because I'm pretty charming and I'm a good time, fun. People like fun, and that's kind of what I've always been pushing that even before I did stand up. I've always, making a server laugh or a barista trying to brighten everybody's day. That's always been my thing, So
you do light up a Zoom room. I'll tell you that.
Look at how much brighter it is. I'm glowing off of your brightness.
Physical
it's
rooms,
amazing.
but the Zoom,
yeah.
I'm trying to do that in any room, Zoom or otherwise.
Any room,
Thank you for that.
Like, it matters. It matters to me, So, for me, it was like I started in Orlando, Florida, and the biggest thing that I saw from when I started is people doing it everywhere. There were these guys that were just traveling the country doing stand-up, and that just seemed so insane to me, so like a foreign concept to me. And I was like, oh, I want to be funny everywhere. I want to do that. I want to be funny everywhere. So my motivation to do stand-up was never like, money or fame or hoes or whatever, a lot of motivating factors for a lot of these people. It was, I just wanted to be one of the best ever. I want to be able to make everybody in the world laugh, and which is a ridiculous thing, but I did. And then I started doing it. And I think I started doing it for like 2 years, and then I took a year off because I was super sad, and then I started doing it again, and I never stopped up until before the pandemic, I think the longest I'd ever stopped doing stand-up was maybe for like 2 weeks. And if I don't do it, I am a bitch. Like I am definitely one of those people I have to do this. It's not like, I guess I do stand-up too. No, I fucking need it, and that's what keeps me balanced. I found a thing that works for me, and this is it. And so I started doing it professionally probably like 3 years in, and and then for like 6 years I lived on the road touring full time. Didn't live anywhere. Would pick up my mail once a year at my mom's house. Didn't pay rent. Was just moving around living out of my Saturn. Paying $2.50 a gallon for rent. And I'm charming and fun, and nobody thinks I'm a rape. I'm not gonna rape anybody. So people open their homes to you. You hang out with people. No, it's not that difficult. So Airbnb, stuff like that, and you do it for that long, and without a net, without any other option, when all of your eggs are in this basket. I've always kind of been that way. I was the only girl golfer on an all-guy team. I was the only chick that, I was constantly being a person, I was by myself, so this wasn't that different. Like, it wasn't that weird or difficult to me because I'd already lived my life that way, And then I lived in Chicago for a couple of years. I came out to Los Angeles, and that's where I met these guys. And this has been a really beautiful beginning of all of the hard work I've kind of put up into this point. So it's been awesome.
I love that so much.
Is your middle name Perseverance?
Carmen
Perseverance Morales? Because
it would suit
That's what I got
real
from
well.
that story.
I
Yes.
was gonna say either Perseverance or Sunshine. Carmen Sunshine Morales.
I like that. Yes.
Because I'm getting a lot of sunshine from Carmen.
One of my best friends, Ricky Reyes, always used to call me a fucking ray of sunshine because he was like a grumpy dude, you know. And he was just so, here comes Carmen, the fucking ray of sunshine, you know. Like he was mildly annoyed by it, but he loved that I was around. You know?
That is lovely. Carmen, please tell everybody where they can see this special and how they can follow you.
Absolutely. CarmenMorales.com for all of your Carmen Morales needs. Please go to HBO Max, search Entre Nos, search Carmen Morales. It's me and my friend Alfred Robles. We both do 15s, and it's wonderful. It's a wonderful. I'm really happy about it, and I hope people enjoy it. So it's streaming right now. You know, if you don't got the money to buy HBO Max, use your ex's login. They don't give a shit.
Right,
You know?
right.
Use somebody else's. Ask a friend. Watch it at someone's house. You know, put it on for your dog. I don't care, but please, I need the views. Please watch, because that's the only thing that matters.
We'll figure it out. Hit us up. Slide in one of our DMs. If you don't have access, Frank knows a guy, or Jamie or I.
I'm borrowing
figure it
someone
out.
else's, so I don't know if I have to ask them permission.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out, but hit us up. Let's support our girl, Carmen Morales. And shout out to everybody over at Viva, Victor and Ed. We've been supporting them. They've been supporting us for a while now. And we love what they're doing, just elevating the voices, the funny voices of the Latino community. So shout out to them. And to you too, mija. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Nuestra casa es tu casa, so please
Gracias.
come back whenever you can to shout us out and let us know what you got
Absolutely.
going on. And best of luck to you, mija. Keep
Thank
it
you.
up.
You guys too. Thanks for being badass. You guys are super fun.
Thanks,
All right, one time for
Carmen.
Carmen Morales. Booyaka. No for Guan, lot of mercy. I live by the beach, Jamaica.
Don't get
Okay.
Rachel started. Okay.
Thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Bye,
Absolutely.
Carmen.
Bye.
Yes, Jamie. I mean, she's doing it for the ladies, yo. Oh my gosh, I love these times. I love these kinds of interviews. We need to hear these stories. She's so amazing. Love it. Check her out on Entre Nos. Carmen Morales, doing it for Latinas and Latinos, but like, you know what I'm saying? Doing it in a space that's still male dominated.
Yeah, and it's crazy, like her saying how when she started out, which, you know, probably wasn't that long ago. I mean, it was long probably in general, but for her, but probably wasn't that long ago. And she still, they still weren't having more than one woman on certain shows and stuff like that. I'm like, really? This was, so, you know, but now, you know, now it sounds like that ain't happening. You know what I mean?
Word.
Bring on the diversity, you know, race, gender, all of it. Like, you know, give everybody a chance to kind of go up there and be funny and shit. So
Exactly. Well, I love it. All right, Jamie, should we get into a que lo que?
let's do it.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, vamos a bailar otra vez. Que lo que, 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 que lo que. 1, 2, 3, menéate otra vez. Que lo que, 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 que lo que.
All right. Let me start out by giving a shout out to Yero.com, the news and lifestyle platform for Latino men.
Yeah.
Let's go, Yero. So check out Yero. If you're a Latino man, I would advise it. They got some good stuff in there. And if you want to follow me, you go to J Ferns Instagram, J_Ferns Twitter. I won't tell you I won't tell you the Twitter site that I use to badmouth Nets and Yankees fans. That's my burner one. That's my burner Twitter account. But maybe one day. But and so yeah, and so I'm gonna send this over to Rachel to do her thing.
Thanks a lot, Jamie. I'm going to take the mic and I'm going to say a couple things on it. Hey, everybody. How you doing? All right. Please follow us at We Are Latinos Out Loud. Okay. We're on Insta. We're on the Twits. We're on the Faces. We're everywhere. Okay. And please also follow me personally at Rachel La Loca. I want to shout out my boy Frank. We had a great time this weekend. We're going to recap what we did on next week's episode. We missed you, Jamie. It was a nice outing, road trip. We'll recap for you when he's back. And also want to shout out again Adam Torres Concerts and Corinne and everybody over there who showed us love and had Ramel and I working over the weekend and enjoying the beautiful sounds of reggae. Check them out. They have wonderful events. They've got a big salsa concert coming up with Victor Manuel in La India and a bunch of other great artists on the bill. And give us a call. No big whoop. 978 Latinos. We have a phone number. And that's really all I've got. So thanks for rocking out with us. Leave us a review. Give us some stars. And thank you for listening. On that note, we out.
Shabba.